Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
It is easily the warmest day of the year so far. We get warmer tomorrow, and the question remains, how many of us are getting to 80?
More people are testing positive for COVID, and more patients are ending up in the hospital. Tonight, experts weigh in as some hospitals are nearing full capacity.
But we begin with Michigan leading the nation in new cases of COVID-19. 4,964 new cases over the past 24 hours. That is down slightly from the weekend average, but the number of new deaths up rather dramatically, 58 over the past day, with 16 of those coming from a review of vital records.
And amid this surge in new cases, Governor Whitmer got her first dose of the COVID vaccine.
Did it along with her teenage daughter to try to help others to do the same. Sean Lay live tonight. Sean, she's hoping vaccines will end the surge that we're watching.
Devin, Sandra, you're exactly right. She's hoping that the vaccines catch up with the cases, but right now cases continue to be alarming. The state reporting up to 5,000 each and every day if you average them out. The percentage of positive cases, it's back up, way up to 15.6%, and the new variants are being identified and they're spreading quickly.
I'm done. That's it.
Governor Whitmer getting shot 1 of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine.
I feel good. I feel relieved.
The shot coming from the state's chief medical officer, Dr. Janae Khaldun. The governor brought her 19-year-old daughter, Sherry, with her so she could get her first shot. A symbolic message to parents as the COVID-19 virus is raging like a wildfire in Michigan. The governor now urging parents to get vaccinated and to bring their teen children to also get vaccinated.
Because we know what the spread looks like right now, and it's really crucial that as parents we not just model, but we help our kids to be safe as well.
Michigan now leading the nation in COVID-19 cases by population. The governor says she consults medical experts often as cases rise to alarming levels. She is not putting in place any new restrictions. This is a race to get vaccinated, and so far, the virus is winning.
It is a mobility issue that we're confronting. It is fatigue that we're confronting, and it's variants, frankly.
It's our chance to be able to have traditional proms and graduations and baby showers and other celebrations of life's milestones again. It's really our chance to get back to a sense of normalcy.
Back here live, one national headline said Michigan is now the epicenter of COVID-19 for the nation. City of Detroit sending people out into neighborhoods to try to convince people to get the vaccine. The focus is on being vaccinated and an intense focus on young people. We'll show you how they're trying to get young people to roll up their sleeves. That'll be at 6 o'clock. Devin, Sandra, back to you.
You bet, Sean. We will see you then. Let's take a look now at the numbers on the vaccine. 5.6 million doses have been distributed here to Michigan. 4.7 of them have been administered thus far. But right now, the vaccine just can't keep up with the surge in Southeast Michigan.
And you know what? With the rise in cases, hospitalizations are also on the rise, putting a real strain on a system that's already dealt with so much over the past year. Priya Mann is live tonight with more on what's happening in hospitals right now. Priya?
Well, you know, Sandra, experts are looking at a few indicators. I spoke to Beaumont, and they said the positivity rate for a few months now was hovering at about 4%. It has now jumped to 20%, and younger people are ending up in the hospital.
Yes, I'm concerned, but in general, we're in a much better place than we were a year ago.
While vaccines have been a game changer, hospitalizations have surged. Beaumont says for months they were averaging about 100 COVID patients a month. Now that number is closer to 600.
For us, it's a very significant increase. We are in another surge in Michigan. It is real. We are seeing people in our hospitals.
Here's a current snapshot of just a few hospitals around Metro Detroit. Capacity across 8 Beaumont hospitals ranges anywhere from 68 to 100%. The state saying Beaumont Wayne is at full capacity. Capacity across 5 Henry Ford Hospital and at Children's is 62%. Beaumont says capacity numbers alone can be misleading.
We've opened additional beds at Wayne, and so we are not 100% full.
Keep in mind, medical experts say even pre-pandemic, hospitals generally operate at about 90% capacity, and now hospitals are even better equipped at treating COVID patients.
The hospitals are just so good. They've learned so much in the last year about managing those patients they do better anyway now, even if they're severely ill.
We are very worried that people are waiting too long at home because they're afraid or scared. When you need to come to the hospital, please do not hesitate. We will take care of you, and we will do it in a very safe manner.
And again, the best advice is to continue to wear your mask, continue social distancing, and try to book yourself a vaccine appointment. We have information on all of our social media platforms. Reporting live tonight, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Yeah, and Priya, at this point, has Beaumont seen any other kind of impact in their ability to provide care?
You know, Sandra, I asked them that, and they said ambulances have not had to be diverted, and they haven't seen a lot of internal transfers within their system. So those are two signs that they're able to keep things the way they are. But of course, numbers expected to change over the next few weeks, and we'll, of course, keep you posted.
Yeah, two very important signs, though, indeed. All right. Thank you, Priya.
President Biden setting an ambitious new deadline for all American adults to have access to the vaccine. The White House now says all adults should have access to the shot by April 19th. Alice Barr in Washington following that. Alice?
Devin, the president focused today on vaccines as contagious new variants loosening restrictions and increased travel are driving COVID cases up once again. President Biden today touring a vaccination center in Virginia, highlighting a milestone 150 million shots in arms in his first 75 days in office.
A clear, overwhelming majority of people over the age of 65 have gotten at least one shot.
The president pushing for an even faster pace, moving up the deadline when all adults should be eligible for a vaccine from May 1st to April 19th, though most states have already set that goal. Half the country is now seeing COVID cases rise, especially among young people, just as many states are loosening restrictions. In Texas, nearly 40,000 fans packing into Globe Life Field for the Rangers' home opener in defiance of CDC guidelines.
We're not worried at all.
With vaccines offering the best shot to head off another major surge, both parties are urging everyone who can to get a shot.
You're doing your part, not just for yourself, but for the whole community.
And as President Biden touts vaccine progress, he's also under pressure to deliver promised help to relieve the pandemic's economic pain. Many hard-hit families have yet to receive their stimulus checks, and unemployment benefits have been hard to secure for Americans struggling through the past year.
It's just the waiting game that's really unsettling for a lot of us.
The pandemic's ripple effects still reaching communities across the country. There is some good news on the economic front. A new report shows the pace of U.S. job openings hit the highest level on record in the month of February, with more companies looking to hire. In Washington, Alice Barr, Local 4.
Experts say the pace of those job openings are thanks in part to states like Texas that have lifted all of the restrictions. Well, it is only early April, but it feels more like June today. Just gorgeous.
It really does, but you know what? We're not complaining. Let's get over to Ben now for a look at how long this is going to last. Ben.
Nor should you, Sandra. We're going to get even warmer tomorrow. In fact, we're now at 78 degrees. We have not been this warm since late September. We're going to play a little Earth, Wind, and Fire, but I can't afford it, so just sort of sing it in your head while we talk about this. 20 to 28 degrees warmer than we were yesterday at this time, which wasn't all that bad. Storm Tracker 4 dry right now, but we're keeping our eyes up north. Could be a couple thunderstorms forming tonight, so we'll be tracking that coming up. But we're going to be near a record high tomorrow with even warmer temperatures. The chances of rain are ramping up as we head towards the end of the week, and the rain not leaving for Saturday and Sunday. We'll look at all that in just a few minutes. Guys?
All right, Ben. 3 Oakland County attorneys charged in an alleged fraud scheme.
Mark Fishman, the president and CEO of the Fishman Group in Bloomfield Township, is charged with maintaining a criminal enterprise and 1 count of obstruction of justice. His son Ryan Fishman and Alexandra Eckham are both charged with 1 count of racketeering, 30 counts of forgery, and 1 count of obstruction of justice. These crimes allegedly took place across 6 Michigan counties. It's alleged they failed to serve court papers for civil lawsuits, but said the papers were served, leading to default judgments and financial awards.
In short, these lawyers put a dagger in the heart of due process and victimized some of the most vulnerable people in our state. And it pains me to have to say that members of my profession would do something like this.
Fishman Group also has operations in both Colorado and Florida. Genesee County prosecutor says there's the potential of criminal activity in those states as well as in other Michigan counties.
Much more to come. Here's Doc.
It's a question I've been asked repeatedly. How many people in Michigan have gotten COVID after being fully vaccinated? I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Ahead, I've got the numbers from the state and a closer look at what they really mean.
All right, Doc, and help wanted. New tonight, Metro Detroit businesses scrambling to fill open positions. We'll tell you about some of the incentives being offered to get you to apply.
But first, the future really is electric. General Motors rolling out 2 new electric vehicles, and they're going to be built right here in Detroit. We're going to have that for you coming up next.